off day yesterday, focusing on what we need to do better. We are thankful for this upcoming week, a chance to play Memphis again in Memphis. I don't think they've lost at home in league play for 2 years. We know that's a big game for us. It's a second chance to get better at what we couldn't accomplish at USF. Also looking forward to the East Carolina game. One, it means we're at home. Two, it's the Coaches versus Cancer game, which is something that's near and dear to a lot of people's hearts and coaches in general, a great cause to support. So we're looking for one on the road and one at home. I think we've learned the hard way. Last time we played Memphis, we had 18 offensive or second chance points to start. It was 18-0. This last game, we lost that battle 29-18. We're going to do what we can to hit today without getting hurt. And mentally, we got to be prepared on the road, especially to not lose that battle. From there, we just know how good Memphis is, and the reality is they're coming off 2 on the road. You can't overjudge yourself on the road. They've yet to lose at home, and it's an incredibly difficult place to play. So we're taking this one really seriously. Any questions?
Robbie?
Hey, Coach. You talked a lot about Memphis there. It seems like they change their starting lineup almost every game. Is that kind of something you guys are preparing for there? They do seem to change things quite a bit.
Yeah, Coach AD has a scout. I think, we listen to their media. We see who he compliments after games. We try to get a grasp on what it is they're trying to do. They play as small as his son at the 5 against us. Obviously, Bradshaw really hurt us with 3 threes. So there's a combination of small ball, but then they can also go big. You have no idea how they're going to view our last game or two, and then we've got to try to make some decisions based on how they finished the game at Wichita. Because they did, I think in the last 15, 18 minutes, they did win 36-27. So he probably goes back and looks at what he likes there. But they've had more starting lineups than anybody in the country, and there's probably no way for us to predict it. But we've got 1 or 2 guesses, and we've just got to be ready with how we're going to guard the 5, depending on which direction they go.
And looking at last game, how do you think the team has kind of responded to the adjustments you want to make, and is there anything specifically you guys have addressed?
Well, we addressed some things immediately. Yesterday's an off day because we play on Thursday, and you got to take 1 a week for NCAA rules. So it's today and tomorrow. Tomorrow night we travel. Thursday we play. Then we come back and we got to practice Friday, Saturday. So we want 2 days for each game for preparation. So for us, that starts today. A lot of times we burn the film and just move on because I think we're playing like 11 games in 33 days or less. It's like once every 3 days because we're not getting a bye week until February. So the wear and tear on that, you've got to keep yourself fresh. But today we'll start with USF film, which we don't normally do. We usually start with the scout, move on, and then come back to the film for teaching points. So there'll be some frustration gotten out in the film session, and we'll do that backwards, and then we'll start with Memphis after that.
And with each conference game, we kind of see Josiah's role becoming a bit more of a staple. What has he kind of done off the court in practice to kind of give you that comfortability to play him in the role you are now?
For better or worse, some of the growth in the game is because of foul trouble. Some is because I thought against Tulane we had to play passers against his own. So it was probably more him than Maxine. Last game it was a lot of Maxine, and I thought he did more good than bad, for sure. So I think both of them, it depends a little bit on the scout, a little bit on what's needed, and the fact that they're growing, each day, and our trust in both of them is growing. So, unfortunately, a lot of our decisions have been made based on foul trouble. I'd like to only make them based on scouting. But both are useful. Josiah, last week, I think he averaged 10 points a game in league. He's probably right on pace to be freshman of the year, but we're not really worried about those kind of awards right now. I think right now we're just trying to win games, and when he can help us most is when he rebounds and plays defense, and he'll be reminded of that today in film.
All good. Thank you.
Thanks.
Hey, Coach. Going back on the last encounter against Memphis, Aaron Bradshaw was the leading scorer with 21 points. Despite the Tigers' ups and downs this season, what will be key to keeping Aaron Bradshaw from going off the way he did again against you guys the last time around?
Yeah, I mean, to be frank, I thought a couple of our guards had good games, and then Xander started the second half in a real special way. He gave us a mini run. But Bradshaw might have been the best player on the floor. He kicked. I think he might have missed a couple around the rim. I just watched the film back. But his jump shot and his overall impact on the game and the spacing was elite. He's a really good player. I think they've done a good job with him. If you compare kind of his highest upside from his last spot, Ohio State, to Memphis, he's truly grown. And just like us, we believe we can play better basketball. I know Memphis thinks the same thing. And part of that answer is a good Bradshaw, and he was excellent against us.
Oh, and you mentioned about your looking back on the USF film as a way to like double down on what you got to do right and what you must stop from getting wrong at times. How important will that session be for you guys to like understand what's at stake for you guys for the remainder of conference play, especially as you complete the first half, with this being the ninth game of that slate?
Yeah, we feel like they didn't listen. And sometimes you don't listen at home, you make enough jump shots, it doesn't matter. On the road, if you're not going to follow how to score against the team and you're going to try to do it yourself, that's how you end up with 8 assists and a real trouble. The second thing, I thought after we played Tulane, there was real growth. They realized how poor the last 5 minutes was, and they learned to close out games. If you're going to be a good road team at this level, and, right now we're 2-2 on the road in league. If you're going to be a good road team, there can't be a 20-6 run. And in the second half against USF, the truth is that run alone was probably the game. And if you've got to burn timeouts, you can't stop the ball by getting to the free throw line. You take a bad shot, there's a live ball turnover. You get all of a sudden. And we've gotten better at closing games when we should, but we're going to have to be better at stopping runs. And playing Memphis at home and playing Memphis there is a completely different game. And we can't allow for one of those runs. So I'd love for the shot selection to match the assist total and be what we were against Tulane. And I would love for us to actually understand that sometimes irresponsible things don't hurt as much as at home, but on the road it'll get you. So if there's a 20-6 run at Memphis, I don't know that we can make up that ground, and that's what we left happen at USF.
And last question for me, a sneak peek against East Carolina. They've struggled throughout conference play, 1-6 so far, 6-14 overall. They're in the bottom 50 when it comes to scoring offenses, and they have a lot of inconsistencies with shooting the ball over from the field and from beyond the arc. What are the main keys to having the guys get off to a strong start at home on Sunday afternoon?
I think just having a good week of practice. Like, we can practice a little today because it's the beginning of the week. When you come back on Friday, you're not going to practice much, and then Saturday you're 24 hours out from a game. So our great day has to be today. The second thing I'll say is they won their last game. Right. Jordan Riley's one of my favorite players in the league. Yeah. And their center will kill you if you don't decide to box out. So I know that the analytics and all that you just shared might bend someone concluding that, they're not great, but I would be scared to death of their center after the way we rebounded. And like I said, I don't know that I like anybody in our league more than Jordan, except maybe USF center right now. Right. So we're going to have to be on point with our personnel, and we better be tougher than we were.